Why? Why is this different? Because they're in a yurt? I'm confused. Why is this different? It's not... What is wrong with this man?
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome. We are here again. I'm trying not to introduce ourselves. We are watching Temptation Island, episode 9. I'm half brain dead. I was terrified to read comments last night. Obviously, your hot takes were hot.
That's fine. People are allowed to disagree.
That's my opinion!
Here's what I'm going to say. I do feel like I was kind of wrong about Tyler just because I thought initially that he was going to be an even bigger jackass. Like, I'm not saying that he's perfect in any kind of way. I don't want to date that man. I don't want to know him. The fact that he can fall in love with someone so quickly, which it feels like is what's happening with Kay.
He's just saying he's going to.
Abandon his, 2.5-year-long relationship partner that he lives with. He literally lives in Taylor's house right now. Is still wild to me. Yeah. But I expected him to behave worse. So for me, it was like an expectation versus reality thing.
Well, and I also feel like the rankings were, if you're going to date them, then I think the order would probably be a little different.
Oh, yeah. I was ranking for TV. So in my mind, I'm thinking who is making good TV? And I also think is doing a good job on the show. That's why Leno was so low. Legitimately, if we're talking about ranking people that we would want to know in real life, Leno would be number 1 for me. He's the only man on the show. He's the only main man on the show.
Yeah, main.
Because I actually liked a lot of the guys that were in the women's house.
Yeah,
but he's the only main man on the show that I feel like I could tolerate in real life. If you're talking about who you'd want to date, I think Leno's the only one. I'm not even sure Leno, to be honest with you, because
we said, and somebody else said that it looked like he was trying to even make out with Alex up until the very last minute.
Yeah.
And just because he wasn't successful, so that doesn't. He's there are no perfect or even great choices here.
I also want to clarify, I do want Shanté to leave Brion.
Yeah.
Strongly.
Yeah.
I think she absolutely should. I'm going to be very upset if she forgives him. I feel like what he's done to her is not something that she should forgive so quickly. But it's also not my life.
By this point of a show, towards the end of the season, I do get a little exhausted of constantly saying how much I hate the people, because it was quite a few episodes of it. If we put out 4 to 5 hours plus of content of me just ripping on people, for me personally, I just don't like hearing myself do that over and over again.
I fully anticipate that I will be re-frustrated again with Brion during this episode and or episode 10. I
all
know
of them,
it
really.
And or how he's acted post show. I'm not expecting good behavior from him. So all previous opinions still apply, which is that Brion is a dog. He's treating Shanté like crap, and she should leave him. Also, he's a complicated person who brought up some kind of deeper and more complicated things than other people had brought up. Someone did point out. Okay. Why is that? Is that another manipulation attempt?
The timing, as soon as he gets challenged on stuff, and suddenly it's all about how... Yeah, and people say that's a very classic manipulator tactic, and it makes perfect sense.
Brion at that last bonfire was reading a little dead inside, and I don't know if that's the realization of people are gonna see this.
Yeah,
the realization
what are they gonna think about it? Yeah,
and Shanté didn't act out in any kind of way, so he really can't he
can't put anything on her.
No, he has no excuse.
Maybe that's part of him too. Maybe he was almost hoping that she would fuck around and then he would look better or something. And then at this point he's like, well, fuck. How do I clean this up? Yeah, there's a lot that can be going on behind the scenes. It's impossible to tell somebody's intentions, though, and what they're truly feeling.
Of course.
But, I think that's back to, he's shown himself to be manipulative and a liar and all these other things. And just, to the point of potentially even deceiving himself. I think he might even believe his own bullshit. So then it's I don't know, can you trust anything he's saying? I don't know. Probably not.
I wonder almost if he's sitting up there watching what Grant is doing.
Oh, and he's not that.
Oh my
God. Watching Grant, yeah. Don't be Grant. That's the number one takeaway from this whole... I think the rest... everything else, there are a couple people agreed with a few things we said in the last episode. A lot of people didn't. Everyone agrees, don't be Grant.
Don't be Grant. Just don't do it.
I haven't seen a single dissenting comment. All right, let's go into it. Episode 9.
And I still have some of that resentment, and I feel sometimes that I'm the second choice.
such a weird thing, because if there were two guys and she picked you, you're technically the first choice, and the
I
other
know,
guy's
right?
the second choice.
Yeah, because that guy's not there anymore.
You weren't the only choice at one point.
Yeah.
But then when she made the choice, she chose you.
Yeah.
But that's not saying that you can't be upset about something like that, because I could see how that could be really difficult for him.
I agree.
For the first time in a while, I'm not really thinking about Ashley.
Did you say for the first time in a while?
He says that, and it was literally like day one. Like, how quick did he sleep with Natalie? It was so early.
Yeah.
It's weird that they're
Effortlessly.
recapping this.
Yeah.
Do you think that they intended on releasing these separately or something? Because they're recapping before episode 9.
That is weird.
Which is really strange.
That is weird. And they did previews at the end of the last episode, even though it was all released. Usually they only do that for, like, release breaks.
Right.
I bet they did, and then they just realized there wasn't the market for it or something.
To avoid spoilers, I didn't look too far into it, but apparently I think like on Nick Vile's podcast, they're having basically like a reunion or something like that, but Netflix didn't sponsor the reunion.
That's weird.
And I don't really understand why.
Nick Vile?
Yeah, I guess. Like on Vile Files?
Because
like
he's not even super Netflix aligned. Because he does all
this
the...
stuff,
I guess.
though. He does like reality, relationship content.
That's fair.
What would you say to going on that date with me?
I also was wrong because I thought that Grant was going to douche on Natalie, and he didn't.
I know.
I really thought he was.
Here he is.
I really thought he was.
Yeah. No showers for him.
What does that mean?
With douche is a shower.
Oh.
Isn't it just like to shower in French?
Yeah. Douche.
Douche.
You've been hidden long enough, you know.
Maybe for you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I like Kay too much for this. I just get the feeling she's very young.
Yeah,
and I don't remember how
naive.
old she is. But yeah, she seems like very young. And I'm like, you're going to find other men.
Yeah.
Like, Tyler's not the only one.
They're not gonna... Even if they leave the island together, they're not gonna be happily ever after. Like...
Well, I mean...
I doubt
Tyler
it.
doesn't even put the seat down. Like, he's not ready for a real relationship. It's the reality.
Yeah.
Also, like... For him, because I did not realize this until last episode, but for him to rebound from an ex immediately into the relationship with Taylor, and then rebound from Taylor immediately into like full-scale relationship with Kay,
which is the way it's
like
looking.
Not healthy.
Yeah, it's a pattern.
How can you go from a 5-year marriage to jumping into a 2.5-year relationship, and then 2 weeks after another?
Yeah.
Literally, exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah. He was married for 5 years, so he's serial monogaming his entire 20s.
But then with no time in
with
between.
no time in between.
No
Yeah,
time.
it's like bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
Did she lose him how she got him?
What do you mean?
She said immediately from a 5-year marriage with me. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not saying that she cheated with him to be together. But like,
I think generally
like,
that's
boom
what
on the
lose
line.
him when the way you got him
I know. But you said technically he didn't cheat here because he bailed. And then was like, and then sort
I
of...
don't think he physically cheated.
Okay.
There was
Emotionally,
definitely
yeah.
emotional cheating, but the show is set up for
It's set up
emotional
for that,
cheating.
yeah.
Granted, you don't have to, because Alexa went through this and didn't do that.
Even the phrase granted made me angry. You said granted, and I was like, no, let's not. Let's not. Let's grant nothing.
Just saying how much she loves me and how much I fucked up. I'm a dick.
So he is seeing
Yeah.
that she
Yep.
didn't do anything.
And it's all him.
It's all him treating her like garbage.
I'm not trying to lose out on a great woman.
Oh, it seems like you were. Yeah, yeah, right? I'm glad we said what we did earlier, because I feel like some of this is coming to fruition real quick here.
Yeah.
Said you weren't going to go on the date. I like people who stand their ground.
And like I like the bit of empathy she's showing him, because
Yeah.
she's not immediately hurt by his actions.
Mm-hmm.
So like she's the right person then to be able to the extent that he respects her boundaries, like talk to him about stuff and be there for him. You know what I mean? And she also challenges him. I feel like Amiah's a good friend for him.
I
And
agree.
he doesn't really know, it sounds like he doesn't really know how to have friends that he doesn't have a sexual relationship
Yeah.
with. And she clearly does.
And she's good at asserting those boundaries and
Yes.
stuff, which is awesome. Which
Yeah.
is also something that he needs.
I wonder how much he would benefit from just being single for a while and not have, people will abstain from sex.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if he would, like...
Stop banging all your friends,
Right.
be single for a little bit,
Yeah.
and then maybe reflect on some of the stuff. Not because like he can if he wants to, but he's acting like he doesn't want to live the life that he's also pursuing at the same time.
Right.
So you got to pick a lane.
Exactly.
No, immediately.
I hate to be tickled.
Oh yeah.
I will get angry. I will leave. Like, if you tickle me, I will, like, I'm mad. Like, don't do it. I hate it.
Well, I've heard people talk about how, like, tickling and people tickling despite rejections is a really good way to gauge, like, consent, even, like, when you're young. So, like, people that, like, tickle you and you're like, no, stop, and they don't stop, like, that's a consent break.
Totally.
You know? It's not nothing. You know, and, like, are you training children to accept that, or to have boundaries that should be respected?
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, and for me, and I don't know if anyone else feels this way, but it's, like, almost painful. Like, I don't enjoy
like,
being tickled.
Tightening up your sides and, like,
It's not, like, a fun, cute thing for me. It's, like, uncomfortable and, like, bordering on, like, painful for someone to do that.
Yeah.
So then if I'm telling you stop and you're not stopping, like, no, we have a problem.
If I'm not going to be in love with someone, let me be a part of it, you know? It's like you're watching a love movie and you're alone.
That's very sweet.
Oh, he's rooting for her and Leno. That's cute.
That is cute.
That's really cute. I love that perspective. Like, if he's not going to be, like, you know, in a relationship with someone, at least he gets to watch somebody,
That's
like,
cute.
really love their partner.
Yeah.
And she does really love him. There's no question.
We're like the little cheerleaders.
Who is
that?
I know. It's the person he kept, but
Who is that, though?
I don't remember her name.
It is weird that he has to date someone. He has to have, like, an overnight date
I
with
know.
someone while he literally is going to prepare to get engaged to
Yeah.
Alexa. And he's bringing his date partner to go ring shopping. So weird. I mean, I know he's being forced to do it. It's not his choice that it's this weird, but this is very weird.
I'm going to propose to Alexa at the end of this.
Yeah, buddy.
She's definitely going to say yes,
Yeah,
too.
that's easy.
I'm glad for them. I feel like even though they were very boring to watch on TV, and they didn't give any drama, which is what the show's kind of set up for, they actually succeeded. Like, they won the show.
I think that is a hallmark of the fact that there are normal people that are probably going to get married or whatever.
Right.
Just like boring, or normal people are going to come off as boring on shows like this.
Yeah, totally. You almost want to be.
Yeah.
Like, you'd want to be boring because it means that you're not, like, cheating on your partner, getting cheated on, like, disrespecting people or being disrespected. So it's kind of a best case scenario, but it doesn't make good TV.
I know that's just coming off as me being, like, manipulated, and I hate that he put me in this position.
It's not coming off as you being manipulated. It is her being manipulated. I mean, that's just, and I know that sucks. I like her a lot. Like, I like Shanté.
Yeah.
And I like how kind she is, and I like how, you know, how sweet she is. But,
How
like,
she wants to feel for people even when they're harming her.
Yeah, but it's literally choking me up thinking about it because she is gonna end up just like
screwed over.
She's already been screwed over.
Yeah, it sucks.
It sucks because, like, right now he doesn't deserve that kindness from, like, a romantic partner.
Yeah,
because he's manipulating it and he's using it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All of you have been so supportive and so sweet and so respectful.
I'm glad she gets that to feel positive about these people. Sucks that she's feeling that much pain.
I already just feel terrible for her because I just feel like
preemptively. Yeah.
And then I feel bad for her too because she's gonna take him back is how I feel. Maybe I'll be wrong. I've been wrong about other stuff on the show before, so maybe I'll be wrong. But when she does, then she's gonna have the internet backlash of people.
Yeah.
Like, do you know
What's
what I
wrong
mean?
with you?
Yeah. And I feel really bad for her because she's in a really difficult situation. She's clearly a really kind person. So then to have everybody coming after her on the internet, like I imagine they are, telling her how stupid she is like suck. Just why? Don't do that.
Hey Al. Hey Leno. How are you? It's great to see your bright smile.
Good seeing you too. How are you?
Oh, he's gonna ask Alexa's dad.
Oh, okay.
That's so sweet.
Of course.
Yeah, my blessing.
Yeah, that's sweet.
As long as there's not a hot woman with a milkshake and a straw, I think Leno's gonna be okay.
Yep. Even then he'll be okay because he won't get anywhere.
That's true. He was, to be fair, he did seem a little toasted, so
yeah.
I'm giving him a hard time, but it's mostly because he's not really doing anything that is like that bad. So
We just had to give him a little bit of smoke because he has it so easy.
He really does, honestly.
I don't know. He's making it really easy to move forward and continue knowing what I do deserve.
I feel like the ease with which she is able to move forward after what happened with Tyler kind of indicates the fact their relationship was not great too.
Yeah, that she's obviously a lot more emotionally torn up by everything, but it's good for her to not be in that relationship anymore. And it seems like she wanted too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, she wanted because she like saw the good in him. She saw the good that maybe they had at one point, and just like it's never coming back and you can't admit it.
And that is the problem, I think, sometimes when you like see the good in someone, but it's like they're not good in your relationship, because then it ended up with her basically like mothering and taking care of Tyler. Like, she's the one with the job. She's the one who takes care of the house. Right, exactly.
You're not sleeping in the bed. No, you're going to sleep on the beanbag.
That would be horrible. My back just hurt hearing that.
They could just make a pillow fort down the middle, you know?
Yeah.
Do the big line of pillows.
She's like, you are not touching me tonight.
That's why I like Amiah.
Yeah.
Amaya's the kind of friend that Brion needs.
Yeah. Like, no, keep your hands to yourself.
We're just friends.
She gives almost sibling vibes to me.
She does.
Because she's like, stop.
Yeah.
You're wrong. What's wrong with you? Yeah, like,
knock it off, you're annoying.
Yeah.
Like, I care about you, you're annoying.
Yeah.
I envision in my heart that Leno and I will walk away together. I feel like I'm ready.
Well, he's ready, girl. He's
Just back
buying
to
you a ring.
Nothing's changed for them. She's in the same exact spot she came into. I could say maybe they've processed some of it internally. Just like on paper, not a lot has changed.
I actually think like theirs is more subtle,
Yeah.
but I think she's been able to prove to herself that she doesn't need to carry the guilt from like
I hear that.
her like early relationship situation.
Okay.
And she's in like a quote unquote tempting situation, and
there's,
she's
like,
behaving completely amazing.
Consummate professional.
Absolutely. And I think for Leno, it's like same thing. He goes every time he's gone to a bonfire and seen that she isn't doing anything weird,
Yeah.
and she's
And he's like, oh, there's like not a problem.
Right.
What's wrong with me?
And she consistently reinforces like friendship with
Yeah.
all of the guys, and
Maybe it's one of those things where it's like the finish work
Right.
is tedious and it takes a long time.
Yeah.
And you're not going to see as much big bang for it, as much bang for your buck. But like,
yeah,
you know, it's
it's
important.
nice that they get to like kind of wrap that
Yeah.
like piece of their relationship up, because it was causing them both a lot of heartburn, and it didn't need to.
Yeah.
And they came in with their issues were just much smaller than the other issues of everybody else.
This is Shanté. This is for you.
She's kicking him onto the floor. I like Amiah standing her ground.
You know, I'm ready to give my full self to Shanté.
She's tucking him in though. That's kind of cute.
It is cute.
Don't let the bed bugs bite.
Literally stop.
Or do.
Don't.
It really is like brother sister
Right,
relationship with
right,
them.
at this point.
She's so annoyed with him, like
Yeah.
99%
Yeah,
of
that's
the
like
time.
she's given like I don't know their age difference, but he's seeming like the younger brother right now.
For sure.
Yeah.
I actually think, like, I do think that he's made progress in the house. And I do
Okay.
think a lot of that is a testament to Amiah. Like, I don't think he would have done that without her consistently telling him, you are showing up like shit.
Straight to his face.
Yeah. And, like, I'm a girl's girl and I support your girlfriend right now because, like, you cheated on her.
Yeah.
And, like, you messed up.
Sometimes
You
people
hurt
need to
her.
hear hard facts.
When I compare the different relationships and who is helping who the most, I think Amiah is helping Brion become a better person more than, like, for instance, Natalie is helping Grant. I don't think Natalie sleeping with Grant is helping him in any way. I don't think it's doing anything other than feeding his ego. I honestly feel kind of similarly about Kay and Tyler. Like, I think Kay is helping feed Tyler's ego, which was already pretty big to begin with. And with Amiah, she's challenging Brion's ego consistently.
I hear that because there's not as much growth happening here, actually, if I look at that.
Yeah.
If I look at the people that grew here, Grant didn't grow at all. I think Leno and Brion possibly grown a little bit.
Yeah.
I hear the whole, like, he's potentially manipulating. Absolutely. I agree that could be what's happening. But it's also possible there is a tiny bit of reflection. And then Tyler, I don't know that he's grown so much as it is that he shouldn't be in the relationship he was before. So, like, you're saying he's getting his ego fed by Kay, but it doesn't necessarily mean that he's, like, growing as a person, reflecting why he keeps on re-engaging in the same pattern
Yes.
over and over.
And that's
not being broken right now.
That's my problem with Tyler, where I feel like he's not growing, is that he's doing the same thing he did with Taylor with
he's just doing it with
someone
a new
else.
person.
Right.
New person doesn't change the pattern. It just it's the same pattern. So should we re-rank again at the end of the episode based on growth?
Oh, yeah. I was also thinking, instead of ranking, I feel like handing out superlatives would be a better...
Superlatives?
Yeah.
Oh, like most improved?
So most improved, right, exactly.
MVP?
MVP, yeah. Like, most likely to succeed post Temptation Island.
Most likely to repeat their pattern?
Right, yeah. Most likely to continue manipulating the shit out of people afterwards. That might be better than ranking them, because at this
what
point...
do the ranks even mean?
So we'll give some superlatives at
We'll
the
give
end.
some superlatives at the end of this episode.
I don't know if it's something I can figure out right now, but like right now I'm enjoying my time with you.
That sounds like a breakup. Pre-breakup.
I feel
It's
like
fair.
it sounds like she's like, I'm not going to leave the island with you. I feel like when people leave the island together, it's like a commitment of
deal.
sorts.
Yeah.
And I feel like, yeah, she's going to leave alone, which she just said.
I don't need Grant, but I also don't need to jump into the next relationship.
Yes.
That's fair.
Don't be Tyler.
And that doesn't mean that like Danny's a great guy. He's come off really well. He seems really, really awesome. But
The last thing that you would need to do, truly, the last thing any of these people need to do is leave immediately in another relationship.
yeah,
That's wild.
like versus, and it makes sense why Danny would be open to that, but she isn't ready because he's just a single coming on here and he's dating somebody. He's like, oh, this is great. I'd love to date you. And she's like, well, not really my time.
Right.
This will really tell me whether or not I should completely close the door with Ashley.
Why? Why is this different? Because they're in a yurt? I'm confused. Why is this different? It's not... What is wrong with this man? What is different about... Like, I'm confused, and I'm getting angry because I'm confused, and I feel stupid because what is he talking about?
I don't know.
You've been having sex with her, so this is going to be no different than that. You're going to have sex again. How is that going to be the thing that helps you decide what to do? Do you know what he's talking about?
No, I don't.
Like, please tell me.
And kind of having to let him figure out his thing without me being there or having any idea what's even going on.
I just feel like she's going to end up getting her heart broken by this guy.
Probably.
And I get it because I see the way he's treating her and I can understand why she's like falling into that.
Yeah.
But like
it's also reassuring and stuff.
He lives with Taylor.
I know.
Truth is, I do not want this to end.
Who would? You're on vacation.
I know, right?
Would you want it to end? And he has somebody where there are no bills to pay, no like outside priorities telling you how great you are all the time because she's constantly validating him, which is something he wants, you know? But it's because they're on vacation.
And they don't
someone else
have
is
any
paying
real
the
life
bills.
shit coming through.
Right.
Yeah.
I wish there was a way where I could have came to that conclusion without having to, have those actions.
I hate that he continues to say that he had to do what he did.
I
That
know.
is very irritating to
His
me.
accountability still isn't there. He could say he has regret all day, but if you're not taking accountability, then you're not growing.
It's frustrating because you just don't have to treat people like shit in order to figure stuff out about your life. It's the path he chose. Like, he can't do anything about it now. That's what he did.
Yeah.
But he didn't have to.
He didn't
had
have
a
to
choice.
do that. Yeah.
I have not made like a full final decision.
Oh, Shanté.
She has, though. She knows exactly
knows
what
what
she's going to
she's
do.
doing.
She's going to take him
She's
back.
going to take him back.
It's an inner battle with herself just to like figure out if she has the strength to do it.
He can see it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been apparent to me since like she saw the footage that she wasn't going to leave him.
Yeah.
I just pray as a friend that she doesn't fall back into that trap with him.
Yeah,
Yep.
she's gonna.
It's a shame. She's such a kind person, and to get treated the way that she got treated. And then Brion needs to fix himself.
Mm-hmm.
And the odds he does that in the relationship with her, I think it's very low.
I came in as a boy and I'm leaving a man.
Came in as a 30-year-old boy. What?
He's 28.
28, okay.
So you can still be boy in your 20s, I guess.
I would argue that 26 is when your clavicle and your brain starts growing because it's fully grown at that point.
At that point, you are mad.
You are an adult.
You
yes.
are mad.
You can make the argument that you're not fully mature until your frontal cortex or whatever the fuck is like. I don't know which one it is, but there's part of your brain he's past that.
He is mad.
Once you're done growing, it's a slow downhill. He's an adult, 28-year-old boy.
So mad about
I'm mad about it.
If there's some things that are left unanswered or that I don't feel right about, then I can't put myself through that.
I believe her. I believe Alexa was prepared to walk away from Leno.
Yes, I agree.
I don't think Shanté was ever prepared to walk away from Brion.
I agree.
If you need some emotional support, somewhere to go, escape Florida.
She lives in Florida? My condolences.
I wonder where she lives now, because she and Grant live together too, which makes these are so complicated when the people live together. I don't even know what you do, because you get back from this like fever dream, and then you're back in your apartment, and you have to separate your life. Yeah. I mean, in that way, it's like a divorce kind of, even though you're not married. Like, you got to separate all your crap if you have animals together. Some of these people may have pets.
Yeah.
They have to figure out what happens. mutual friends. It's complicated. I like Leno's style. He's worn stuff. All the other guys look like they went to like J. Crew or whatever, like Abercrombie and Fitch and bought their clothes. Leno, he's pulling out some interesting looks.
He's reminding me of that. You said that he's in a new TV show, but the Italian guy that was in the Squid Game, Lorenzo, because he had like really interesting, like he handmade a bunch of that shit,
his
right?
Crochet outfits.
Those were really impressive. Yeah,
they were.
I want to watch that more just because he's on that than anybody. I didn't recognize half the people, but
I didn't either.
I had some of them, and Lorenzo was awesome. I liked watching him on Squid Games.
I didn't think I liked him at first, and then when he started talking about like his backstory and stuff like that, I started really liking him.
And I think he ended up being good to the other people there and like disliking people that sucked or something. So he kind of won me over too.
Yeah.
I was a little iffy on him too, but I really liked him by the end.
See you guys soon.
Last time, as one.
That is not a group that I would want to be a part of. Those men.
No, thank you.
Right.
Well, I think given how much we shit talked them, I don't think we'll ever be allowed into the group. So we're good.
Probably not.
Yeah. Physical impossibility. They might fight us if they saw us in public. No.
Do you think they'd fight us? I don't think they would fight us.
Yeah.
My goodness. Grandma.
I used, other women to fill the spots of love that I didn't have growing up.
Brion needs therapy so heavily, and I really hope that he doesn't walk away from this and just think like,
I'm good
oh,
now.
I went on Temptation Island, I'm cool. Like you're not.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, sometimes stuff happens to you that's kind of, like, outside of your... Like, a lot of things happened to him that were outside of his control when he was a kid. And, like, therapy can be a good space to talk about those things.
What happens, I do think that honesty is going to be the best way to handle the conversation I have with Brion.
If she's not coming in prepared to leave, then, it's... I just don't know what she's doing, man.
We know what she's doing. You just don't like it.
I can't comprehend what she's thinking.
Yeah.
Because I see her just walking in and making a terrible decision.
This is why I have to be really careful with like who I allow in my life, because I would do what she's doing.
Well, it literally just happened. I don't know if you want to talk about it, but like you know somebody that is a totally different person than you thought they were.
Yeah.
That you were really close with for a little while there.
Yeah.
And you learned something and you're like, no, thank you.
Right.
And that thing just completely changed, but that was the same person the whole time. And you're like, can I trust anything they were saying? Like that literally just happened to you.
Yeah, it
and
did.
That's like heavy.
Yeah.
It's heavy shit.
It is hard for me when people are, intentional or not, as manipulative as Brion is, when people are like that, I have a hard time.
Yeah.
And I have to literally,
You're trusting.
in that scenario, like I told you, I'm like, this has to be a hard cutoff for me.
Yeah.
Because I can't allow myself to continue to know this person in the same way, because I will make excuses for this person.
Before
it sucks, but I can't have people like that. I will cut people too many breaks, and I will end up hurt, or people around me will end up hurt as a result.
And you're learning that you see these behaviors, it's a no for you. It's an out for you.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you end up like Shanté.
Right. I can't know people like Brion in real life.
I got it. Yeah, it was just them meeting and hugging, which will probably just put as a little pip there because nothing really happened.
Yeah. It sucks. It sucks to watch Shanté. It sucks to know that she's going to, without knowing, but knowing she's going to forgive him. If she doesn't do it at the bonfire, she's going to do it after.
I actually think that they should have forced him to come in on flip-flops and shorts because he looked too good in that suit. That's part of the manipulation.
Oh, because he's really attractive?
He looks really good in the suit. The suit is a nice fit, and he's going to, come in, oh, I'm so sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I see that you're the only one. I can't believe I did these things.
Yep.
A week after doing them. Yeah.
It would be...
You gotta have the outside match the inside, dude.
It would be an interesting test for Brion, I think, personally. Not that you should be testing people that you love, right? But so it's delicate. But it would be an interesting test to see her walk away and say, we need to spend at least the next month apart. Basically a forced separation, right? And then, I'll see... and see what he does. Because my hunch would be that his actions in that time period would be more of this.
And I will say, under the assumption that we already think they're going to get together, and a better option than immediately getting together would be getting some time apart.
Yes.
And a better option than spending time apart would be to not to stay together whatsoever. So there's almost those gradients of better and worse decisions. And it sounds and it looks like to me she's going to make the worst of all those decisions.
Yeah.
Those potential possibilities.
It sucks because I wish that she could just look at him and say I'm not calling you a horrible person, but what you've done to me is not something I can forgive. And like, I have to walk away for myself. And
even if she is going to forgive it, that it doesn't mean that the relationship can continue.
Yeah.
Like, I forgive you.
Yeah.
It's okay.
But I don't want to be with you anymore.
We can't do this because I can't let this happen to me again.
Right.
And how am I going to trust you after all this?
Absolutely.
Like something to that degree. I don't think like you need to take somebody back just because you forgive them. Like.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think it can be a really healthy thing to say to someone like, you know, I like what you're saying. I forgive you.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be your girlfriend anymore.
Yeah.
And I also think it's completely fine that a lot of people don't have any empathy for Brion. And like, I see that too. Like, I think that's a valid opinion.
I don't even know. I think some people are like, don't give him your empathy. It's not like, I don't even know that I hear a lot of people saying that they don't have empathy for a situation or whatever. It's that it doesn't matter. It's like kind of an excuse at a certain point. Or like this is what people like that do. Like, I don't know. I don't think you need to like turn off your empathy for somebody, but also recognizing that like everybody has history of some degree, and the way he brings it up and stuff is like problematic. The timing is bad.
I agree that everyone has stuff, but like some people have more stuff, and what he described was more stuff. It's not an excuse for the way he treats people. Just straight up, it's not. But at the same time, like, I do and probably always will have more empathy for people that have more stuff. And
it's like childhood shit. Like, kids never deserve, like, the crap that they go through. And then kids turn in, like, messed up kids turn into messed up adults because they don't have support systems. Like, our education systems don't take care of them. Like, you know, there's no therapy. Like, their family's letting them down. And you know.
So I will forever, and like, I don't apologize for the empathy that I have for Brion because of like what he shared publicly. I think we already said this, but like, it doesn't mean that Grant doesn't have something, but he didn't share any of it. So if he does, I don't know about it. And I will always have more empathy for people that have been through situations like what Brion has been through. It doesn't mean that I want people like that in my life.
Yeah, we don't want to forgive everything.
Right, that I think Shanté should forgive him, because I do not think that she should. Or take him back, I should say, because like what you expressed, like her forgiving him but not wanting him to continue to like hurt her is, you know, like I think an ideal circumstance. But and I don't begrudge like anyone that is like he's not, which is seems like most people are like he's not worth like the empathy. I just like
and the time and all that.
Yeah, totally. And it's up to people, you know, like Amiah obviously was willing to kind of like put in some extra time with him, put in some extra like work. And I think it's up to like every individual person whether they want to take on that emotional labor or not. And it did seem like for her, it was on the fence a couple of times whether it was worth it for her or she thought it was helpful.
Well, I'm gonna get paid a little bit more if I hang around here. All right, I don't know.
I think she did help him.
Yeah. I mean, maybe.
I mean, no one's like, he's not fixed.
Yeah,
like nobody's fixed.
Yeah.
Right. But I do think that the way that she approached him was helpful. And I also think that that's the kind of like the way she was like calling him in, like not excusing his behavior, telling him that he was violating her boundaries, disagreeing with him. The way she was able to do that, to me, that is such a like an amount of care that she had for him that I really liked seeing that. I thought
boundaries
that was
and accountability can be care.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, or and often are like accountability.
Can be care.
Yeah, you're not. Revenge has a negative connotation. I think accountability doesn't.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Like,
and she did seem to be approaching him with the sentiment that like he could change and he could do better, but she needs to be honest with him about the way she's feeling if she's gonna like assist in that. So I loved seeing that.
I think we should move on to superlatives because we have limited time.
Okay, most improved.
The only ones that I see truly improving potentially are Leno and controversial, but Brion.
And you don't want to give it to Brion because the people are going to hate you.
No. I cannot see through. As I said earlier, I can't see what's manipulation, what's honest.
I agree.
And so I would have to give it to Leno.
I also would give it to Leno because to go from like not being sure if you want to break up with someone to him being able to forgive his partner for
and then propose.
I
Those
do think is a pretty big improvement.
And I said like he had the least room. He had the most comfortable space to navigate, but it actually is a huge jump to go from maybe breaking up to proposing. So I mean, if he's able to squash that shit and move on based on the Temptation Island, then good for him. Most improved. All right, so there we go.
Most improved, Leno. Most likely to succeed in any relationship outside the island.
God
also,
Leno. Most duplicitous.
What does that mean? Like manipulative?
Two-faced.
Most two-faced? Grant.
Most duplicitous, Grant.
100% Grant.
Okay. MVP?
It's
Leno.
Most likely to continue to repeat the same patterns over and over again unless they seek help and intervention.
Tyler.
Tyler.
Yeah, he's an active participant in repeating the pattern.
I just don't think... The thing with Tyler, too, is I just don't think he's as, like, aggressively rude or, like, hateful to, like, his ex-partner.
I hear that.
And I do like seeing that. Like, there's a kindness in the way that he speaks about the people around him that, like, I don't see with Grant.
Yeah. All right. Has everybody Brion didn't get an award, though. Wait, let's think of an award for Brion. Second most likely to leave the island with her partner.
Oh, God.
Brion! Well, most likely is obviously Leno and Alexa, right?
Most likely to contend. Most likely to Most likely to
have a threesome.
Brion!
Okay.
Oh
Thank you for being here. Throw your superlatives down below.
Yes.
Like the video if you did like it. Give us any of your peace of mind if you'd like to down below.
Absolutely.
Critical, supportive, or otherwise.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye.
Then I got it knocked, and I started going,
ridiculous.
All those tearjerker.
Hey, we're gonna go on a cruise this summer. You should come with us.